think the first thing was when we talked to the players a couple of days ago. Justin Fields said he wasn't happy that his knee wasn't where he thought it would be. He put it at 80 to 85%, and still planning on wearing a smaller brace. But then when we talked to them yesterday, he was asked about his knee, and he said that coaches don't want him talking about his knee. He's not talking about his knee anymore, and so Ohio State has pretty much gone on silent mode regarding injuries. Although we got the availability report today, there are no game time decisions, meaning everybody is good to go who has been good to go. There are still 8 guys who have been out all season long who are the same 8 guys, so they haven't contributed this season. So it's as healthy as they've hoped to be, but they aren't exactly telling us how unhealthy guys like Justin Fields is, and maybe Sean Wade, who played in the last game, and he's clearly a key component for this defense, especially this week.
No, not really. I agree with what Tony said. The Justin Field news. We had a chance to watch 2 practices on Christmas Eve. He was wearing what looked like the small brace, and then on Christmas Day, he was wearing a bigger brace, but it didn't look like the one that he wore against Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship game. So maybe there are 3 braces, maybe there are 4 braces. We don't know, but he was wearing a brace on both of those practice days. The team seems loose and like they're having fun. We saw 2 very different pre-practice messages come from Ryan Day during those 2 practices we were at. Christmas Eve was a lot more of the the national disrespect card, very fiery. And then the one on Christmas Day was a lot more good cop, uplifting. We did have a moment in starting the Christmas practice where Ryan Day had all of his players and coaches enter the gate going under a low bar and got a little love tap from them with a blocking pad until the offensive line decided to move in mass, and they ran and tackled Ryan Day and then hoisted him up on their shoulders. It was a good moment by all. So I think they've struck a good balance between the hard work and the reward of a bowl trip. But it is a college football playoff semifinal game, so no time for playing now.
We've got a lot of disrespected teams at this semifinal here. For these being the 4 best or most honored teams of the country, rated as the top 4 teams. 3 of them I know are disrespected to some degree. Whether that real or imagined, I think much of it's imagined, especially Clemson's way.
Yeah, I got here on Christmas evening, so I've been here, I guess, 2.5 days. I don't know, whatever. My math's not good. I guess 2 days, just about. And been very impressed with how the Ohio State team and players and coaches are approaching this. You think about the last couple of years, they played in the Cotton Bowl against USC, the Rose Bowl against Washington. And those are basically glorified exhibition games. I mean, you play the game and then you turn in your shoulder pads and your helmets and you're done, So this is obviously a different tenor because there's a championship at stake. For the winner is going to go on and play LSU or Oklahoma in New Orleans in a couple of weeks in the national championship game. So that attention to detail, that focus, singular focus, I think Ohio State's trying to portray that, and I think they have shown everybody that they are coming in with full intentions of winning this game. There's so much baggage that kind of goes with Ohio State versus Clemson. Clemson 3-0 all time, and all 3 of the losses changed the direction of the Ohio State football program. When you think about 1978, Woody Hayes hitting the linebacker Bauman after he made an interception, he was out of a job, and Earl Bruce came in. And then 2013, Ohio State had lost the Big Ten championship game to Michigan State and went down to the Orange Bowl, and just the defense just got torched. Taj Boyd had a career game. Everett Withers was out of a job shortly thereafter as the safeties and co-defensive coordinator, and they brought in Chris Ash. They won the national championship the next season. And then, of course, the last time, the seniors on the team for Ohio State are very much in memory of what happened in the 2016 Fiesta Bowl national semifinal game, 31-0. Ohio State generated about 200 yards total offense. and beyond what they accomplished that day, because it was terrible. And that brought about a change on the offensive side. It was out with Ed Warner and Tim Beck. And then obviously, they bring in the guys on the offensive side of the ball with Ryan Day kind of spearheading the future of the program there, and ultimately now the head coach at Ohio State. So 3 losses to Clemson that have each had a major impact on the direction of Ohio State football. And, maybe the 4th one will have a positive ending and a much more positive direction, pointing this team toward the Bayou and not back to Columbus for the long off season.
Well, I see 31-0 written all over the place, and for better or worse, or there will be some sort of change. It will be added to or subtracted from after Saturday night to some degree from these Clemson fans that love to throw that up there, and rightfully so. That's part of college football and athletics, and being a fan, you can do whatever you want. Kevin, we know you need to duck out from time to time, so certainly do whatever you need to do, but I'll pitch this to you first and foremost. Is there any other more important indicator early in this game, and you guys can all comment on this, than seeing how healthy Justin Fields is running the football?
No, I mean, I think that's going to be your number one tell in this is how Justin's moving out there. Justin's going to have to be able to roll the pocket. Justin's going to have to be able to run with success. I mean, more than just escapability. I think that's all going to be important. But I put it right there as a 1 and a 1A with what kind of pass rush Ohio State's going to get. They're going to have to be able to get into Trevor Lawrence's face, not allow him to sit back there and just pick him apart, because I don't care how good Best in America is. A couple freaky wide receivers out there. You give him enough time to run around, he's going to find them. So I think those are the 2 biggest tells right there. Just, Justin Fields and how good his knee is, and then what the pass rush looks like, because it's got to be more than just Chase Young. They're going to have to be able to get some pressure from the interior line. That second end spot's going to have to be able to do something, especially if Clemson commits putting a couple guys on Chase.
And that second end spot hasn't been doing much these last couple of weeks without with Chase Young getting so much pressure or so much attention. The guys around him will need to step up more than they have. In regards to Fields, even more, maybe not even more, but obviously he wants to be able to run around. But I think just him not having to worry about his knee would be good for him. I don't know that that's a possibility anymore, because even if he's 85% or 90% heading into this game, one tweak, one bend could take it back down to 60% like that. So, that's going to be a very big thing. That's why, so much of this game for me comes down to how they protect him, how the offensive line protects him, especially inside, up the middle, because they'll come right at him and force him outside the pocket. And they'll see, let's see how he runs, and can they track him down? Can they maybe tweak that knee just by him doing it on his own by trying to avoid the inside stuff? Then maybe they've got Isaiah Simmons out there cleaning him up. So, yeah, he's a different player when he isn't 100%, but he's still a really, really good quarterback, the best that Clemson faced, even with a knee that's 75%.
Yeah, I'm going to say Trevor Lawrence and pressuring him, 6'6", 220 pounds. He's just a big guy. Kind of reminds me, at least frame-wise, like Vince Young, who Ohio State played back in 2005, Ohio State versus Texas. And I did a radio show yesterday and said I vividly recall Anthony Schlegel coming on a blitz and had a dead run right at Vince Young, and he basically hit him and bounced right off of him. And Vince Young took another step and threw down the middle for like a 55-yard play down to the 1-yard line. I think Malcolm Jenkins was a freshman, and he tackled the Texas guy at the 1-yard line. Of course, they scored after that, and they won that close game. And that, in a nutshell, kind of encapsulates what I think about Lawrence is that, okay, Chase Young's got to work up. He's maybe the best. I voted him number 1 in the Heisman Trophy. He's theoretically one of the top players in all of college football. He's got to work up. His string of games with a sack was snapped here, Michigan, Wisconsin, and he's got to make an impact in this game. He can't do it all by himself. But what I'm saying is, going back to that Vince Young analogy, it takes 1.5 guys to bring somebody like that down. It takes somebody who makes the initial hit and then somebody else who's on the other side to clean it up. And we've seen this tandem pressure works so well, where maybe Chase Young will be the first one to hit, and then Jayshon Cornell or Devon Hamilton are right there, and they wrap up and they get them to the ground. They both get credit, for a half sack or whatever, but they have got to impact Lawrence. If they could sack him, let's say 2-3 times, that would be huge. But even more important is to get that pressure. And at 6'6", he's up here, and the hands are going to be down here. They got to get the hands up in the face where he can't see. It's like closing out on a jump shooter. I mean, that's what it is. This guy is Steph Curry, and if you don't close out on him with a hand down, man down, is what this is going to be, because he's going to pick Ohio State apart if they don't get pressure on him. He's got great lanky wide receivers, 6'3", 6'4", long arms. Jeff Okudah, long arms, 6'1", corner. He's going to be put on an island, and he and Shaun Wade, if they think they're number one first-round NFL draft picks, this is the game where they get to go out and show the world they are NFL caliber lockdown corners. This is their final exam in that regard. So I think about all those things, but Lawrence, I mean, he is the, as Reggie Jackson used to say, the straw that stirs the drink. So that's kind of where I look at.
And when they do have coverage on those receivers, or they do get pressure, he can escape it. He can pick up a first down with his legs, because he's a very good runner, rushed for over 400 yards this year, and is a long strider, and similar to Vince Young. And I'll even compare him to Vince Young as a runner, not quite that level, but that same lanky, long striding, who can actually get to the corner and pick up the first down. And he's not looking to go 60; he's just looking to go 10 for the chains.